Alright, today we're going to be painting our nails with... Why am I referring to myself as multiples? Today I will be painting my nails with Appointment Confirmed from OPI and comparing it to Honeydew, although Honeydew is a lot more lime green than I thought it would be. It's really pretty, isn't it? I miss these guanine kind of nail polishes. Check this out. My nails... Okay, I'm in uncharted territory with my nails right now. Usually at this point they start breaking. So I'm shocked they're this long. And I tried to get like the blue nail polish off the other day, but that's not going to come off unless I soak in like a bathtub for 2 hours. And I ain't got time for that. I'm just showering. So it's going to be what it is. And and clean it off. Yeah, I can't clean it off. It's like dyed. Some nail polishes just have really strong pigments, and it takes like a 2-hour soak in a bathtub to get them off. And who has 2 hours to spare doing that right now? Not me. Not me. Okay, so the thing with these OPIs is they're not consistent. This is the Dreaming collection, right? And I find that some of them are 2 coaters, some of them are 3 coaters, some of them are up to 6 coats. Like, they're not all of them are as opaque as the others. Like, it's weird. They're not consistent. So, yeah, that's the thing. This one might be a 2-coater. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But, yeah, I'm starting to experiment with the more long format videos. So, like, I'm actually painting the nails on camera so you can actually see how the nail polish behaves. Right now I'm using my non-dominant hand because I'm a righty, so I'm a little wiggly. And it's not going to come out that great. But it is what it is, you know what I mean? But I'm going to try my best. And it looks like, for the most part, with these Dreaming nail polishes, is they use the same gold glitter in them. So they're essentially like cremes. They're like these sheer cremes with glitter. And they have to be sheer, like a creme has to be somewhat sheer in order to see the glitter pop through, you know what I mean? And then with enough layers, you can reach, like, the opacity that you want. But I noticed for the most part, like, they're the same exact glitter, only with a different base color. I was actually really disappointed with these when I got them. Like, the swatches online, I thought that they would be... what's it called? Pearlescent polishes, and they're not. But I mean, I'm not surprised, because nowadays, I don't know if OPI is considered cruelty-free, but I know a lot of nail polishes and cosmetic brands are doing like the whole cruelty-free thing, because everybody's afraid that they're testing on animals. And the thing is just because a brand isn't labeled cruelty-free doesn't mean that they're testing on animals. It might mean that there's animal byproduct in it, meaning like there's guanine or carmine in it. And, like, everybody's like, don't hurt the animals, don't hurt the bugs, don't do this. My cat is eating the fish. There are sushi restaurants that are providing fish. Not everybody is vegan, and not everybody's pet can be vegan. Okay, your dog isn't going to be a vegan. There are going to be fish that are killed. You might as well be using those scales to create guanine for nail polish. And that doesn't necessarily mean that just because the company is using the animal byproduct that they're painting a rabbit's foot. Alright? And as far as carmine is concerned, or carmine, I forget how it's pronounced. I'm not really that great. It's that red pigment that's made out of crushing those bugs. Those bugs are parasites. They actually kill the cactus. All right. And what farmers did was they would pick those bugs off. And when they would find out that what they found in doing that, when they were removing those bugs from the cactuses, because they were trying to get the cactuses to make other things, those bugs were really, really red and they stained. So they made a dye out of them. And the dye has been used for a very, very, very long time. And I actually watched a documentary about the people that actually produce the pigment from these pests that are on the crops, right? And all these families are actually falling into poverty because there's no longer demand for the pigment. So, they've had these businesses where they were making this pigment from these essentially parasites for cosmetics for generations. They had these farms and things for years in their family, and they're literally losing their homes and their farms because we're no longer putting the stuff into cosmetics. And I think that's kind of sad, especially since this is a parasite. And the same thing with the guanine. People are still eating fish. Animals are eating fish. Fish are dying. And we're throwing away tons and tons of fish scales, right? Those fish scales can be put to good use. You can make pretty pigments out of it. And they're biodegradable. Glitter is not biodegradable. It has a far harsher impact on the environment than if we were to take and make nail polish out of guanine. So, I get the whole, you don't want to hurt the furry little animals and all that stuff, but, it's actually a lot more sustainable to use the animal byproduct, because it's still being, we're still using the fish. They're getting eaten either way, whether making cat food out of them, or, sushi rolls, or, California rolls, or whatever the heck they're called. I don't really like sushi. I'm not much of a meat eater, really, but, my cat loves the fish cat food, so I get them for him and her. So, me, myself, I'm not eating the fish, but my pets are eating the fish. So, I don't see the harm in, taking the fish that were killed to make pet food and, putting it into my nail polish. I would much prefer the guanine in my nail polish than this glitter ending up in the water that I drink. You know what I mean? It's about balance. It's about balance. But, yeah, I see way too many people ranting about how more cosmetics companies need to be cruelty-free, and they need to stop testing on animals. Dude, just because they're not labeled cruelty-free doesn't mean that they're testing on animals. It just means that their cosmetics have animal byproduct in it, and animal byproduct is going to happen. Because not everybody is going to be like you and not eat meat. You know what I mean? A dog is still a carnivore. A dog is still going to eat meat. You're not going to turn your dog vegan. And, yeah, I don't know. It's logic has completely gone out the damn window in society. Nobody thinks logically anymore. I don't know. I figure I'd rant about this the way people rant about being cruelty-free, because sometimes these cruelty-free rants are absolutely ridiculous. I get you don't want to hurt the rabbits or the animals. If you don't need to be hurting them, sure, don't hurt them. I wouldn't hurt them, but I mean, with the bug. The bug is a parasite. It's actually harming plant life. They're gonna be exterminating it one way or another. You might as well make a pigment out of it. And a natural one, for that matter. And the same thing with the pearlescent polishes, that have the guanine, and everybody's all upset. Oh, you hurt a fish. The fish died anyway, people. Like, the fish died and it was canned. It was, like, turned into cat food. I mean, you got the... You know? I mean, I don't want to be hurting anyone's pet goldfish. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the reality of the situation, and that's that we're killing the fish anyway. The fish is dying anyway. The scales are being discarded and thrown out, and creating more waste and refuse that's creating more CO2 emissions from decomposing. We might as well take those carcasses and turn them into something, right? Like, reduce, reuse, recycle, right, man? I mean, I don't know. Did I get a hair in this one? It looks like I got a hair in this one. That's a bummer because I don't have my little pin to, like, pick it out. Let's see if I can get it out. And no, my hair broke. This little fuzz broke off and it's stuck in the nail polish. Oh, joy. I'm going to have to pause this and get, like, a little needle and pick it out. 1 second. Alright, I didn't do it on camera because it takes forever. But, like, when I get, like, a little hair stuck, I, like, use a pin and just, like, pop it out. You can kind of see where it was. And then what I'm going to do is I'll just put another coat over that fingernail to kind of smooth it out and fix it. So, anyway, so I was probably ranting about guanine. Sorry about that, but like I try to look at things logically and not necessarily with just feelings. Because thinking with your feelings gets you in trouble. So this does look like it's more than 2 coats. So this is, I think I did 3 coats. I think while I was ranting, I did 3 coats. So I think this polish is going to be a 4-coater. Because when I topped this one off, it kind of already reached, like, full opacity. Whereas this one, you can still kind of see my fingernails through it. So let me top off the rest of these with that last coat. And what I do is essentially, once I reach full opacity, I let this kind of dry down, and then I do one last coat over that. But I wait for it to dry down significantly before I do that. Because one thing about, like, I know I'm doing this really fast in the videos. Usually what I do in between layers is I wait about 5 minutes. And then I do the next layer. But because I've been talking on camera and, like, ranting, I'm probably pissing somebody off. But, you know, whatever. It turns into kind of like a gelatinous mess. And it takes a lot longer to dry this way. So, my advice when you're doing this on your own is thin coats, wait about 5, maybe even 10 minutes between coats. Yeah, and do it like that. Otherwise, you're going to have a gelatinous kind of mess, which is what I have on my fingers right now. I have a gelatinous mess. And this is probably going to take an hour and a half to dry. Maybe, not really. I'm kind of exaggerating. This will probably take like 45 minutes to an hour, but really, whatever. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to clean up because I know how much people love my messy cuticles on here. I know how they love that, right? I'm going to clean up the cuticles and then I'll do one final coat and then I'll do the pictures and the swatch. But yeah. Pretty color. Definitely not a dupe, but we're going to do the hand versus hand anyway. I'm curious how this one would compare to like Mint 2B. I think I have Mint 2B. But Mint 2B is way too pale, I think, for this color. Hold on. Let me dig it out. 1 second. Okay. So, yeah. This one's Mint 2B. This one's Honeydew. But, you see, because of that, like, gold, I felt like maybe it would have been a better and, like, I thought Honeydew was a better comparison. But it looks like this is more similar to Mint 2B. So, we may revisit this. When I decide to swatch this one, and I'm thinking I'm going to do this one like around St. Patrick's Day. You know, I'm kind of like trying to do more Halloween-y colors, but the thing is like I bought the whole Dreaming collection, so I wanted to like get through that because that was a spring collection, and like that was OPI's spring collection, so I wanted to get through that, but it took me up until now to get through it because I was also late in the game to getting it. Like I got it in late summer. Because someone compared, I think they mentioned that Happy Place could have been a dupe for Frosted Ice Iris. Unfortunately, it wasn't. Very similar color, same color family, completely different finish. Because OPI is a creme with a glitter, and like Frosted Ice Iris is that, you know, shimmer pearlescent color because of the guanine. We don't have those pretty pearlescent colors anymore because people don't want to... You know, everybody's on this cruelty-free kick, and like just because it's like I say, just because it has animal byproduct in it doesn't mean that it's testing on animals. It just means there's animal byproduct in it, and they have to label it that way. And it can't have the bunny stamp. It doesn't mean that they're like, you know, putting mascara on guinea pigs and stuff like that. It just means it has a pigment in it that's an animal byproduct. So yeah, there's that. I mean, I'm sure there are cosmetic companies that do test on animals, and that's unfortunate. But, I mean, there are also scientists that test on animals to create drugs for humans to save lives. So, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion, so this one is mine. Alright, see you guys later. Bye.